Hey, just wanted to make a short video comparing the Victor Vapor Trail, or Vapor Trail Victor, and the Hamskea R7. I've had the Vapor Trail on for the past few months. The R7 did not come out in a left-handed until very recently. I've had definitely some issues with the Vapor Trail. The people at Vapor Trail have been great. This is my second one they've sent me. I've stripped the bolts out of this both times. There's a little bolt right here that essentially connects the back plate, the pick, it's not pick, but the locking rail to the actual sight, and I've stripped the head twice. I had it where the sight was getting locked down. You'd pull down because this bar, focus on that, it would rub up against the lever arm and it would stick. So I would be shooting, I'd pull back, and it would not drop as I drew. It would stay up in this position. So obviously problematic. The people at Vapor Trail were great. They sent me a new one, no questions asked. But then once again, I started having some weird misses that just didn't make sense to me. And then I was starting to play around, and I noticed some slop in the rest, quite a bit of slop in the rest. So I took it off to try to retighten it up, and once again, the same issue that I had with the first one, the way it positions right here, the bolt that you need to loosen to remove the main body so you could tighten up is right underneath the cable arm on the Matthews. So there's no way to get it directly in. You have to come at it from an angle, and I stripped them both times. But yeah, so that was my experience, but just kind of run down some quick little ones. Let's see if we can focus in on those. This is what they look like side by side. I can tell you the R7, the Hamskea, it feels so much better. There's a lot of grind. You can almost hear that. Where nothing. But just, I haven't even put the Hamskea on yet, and I could tell you already that I'm going to enjoy this sight a lot better than the Vapor Trail. The windage and the elevation changes are big, meaty bolts. I'm not going to strip those faces out. And the actual dials are, you use your hands. I'm not using an Allen wrench on it. With the Vapor Trail, everything is done. You loosen the part, which is standard, and then you have to use another Allen wrench to get to them. They're just really small. They don't, especially, you can't really get to them very well. It's much easier to use the Allen wrench. But it's free slide, where, and I'll make that make sense when I mean by free slide. Loosen this up. I'll do the elevation. It is clicks, like genuine clicks that you can be like, I am moving 3 clicks, and it's not this loose kind of getting, it's not this loose, you hear that? That's so tactile and so nice. Where the Vapor Trail is very much you loosen it up and you kind of turn it until it feels like you've made enough movement, but you can't really count the clicks on it. Of note, the Hamskea came with the cover on the blade, where I have it on the Vapor Trail, but I had to pay, it was aftermarket, to get the Kevlar cover on it. It works great, it's fine, it's very quiet. You can just hear that, it's terrible. But yes, my experience with Vapor Trail has not been good. The people have been great. When I called in with a warranty issue, they sent me a new one. And while this was fixed, I still stripped out the bolt that caused the issue to begin with, which was just there's slop in it, and you certainly don't want slop in your rest. Like I said, I was just having some misses that didn't make sense to me, and I went and touched my rest, and when it's at full draw and the tension was released off of the string, you could just wiggle this. And as you can imagine, at full draw is when you need things to be the most tight, the most in line. So I'm going to put on the Hamskea and say goodbye to the vapor trail.